for your valuable perspective on this issue. In fact, let me also show you what that judgment copy looks like, because we have access to some parts of the judgment, and let's put that on your screens. Let's see what actually it means for Meta. How much do they have to pay? What's the financial damage that is coming to the fore? So on your screens right now, we have that judgment copy. It's the state of New Mexico First Judicial District Court and versus Meta Platforms, and over here the findings and facts and conclusions of law. This matter came before for a two-phase proceeding, with phase 1 being a jury trial that was held between February 2nd and 2026 and March 24th, 2026, and phase 2 during a bench trial held between May 4th and May 22nd. Upon the complaint by the plaintiff, that was the state of New Mexico. So the plaintiff in this case is the state of New Mexico. They have directly approached for a case against Meta Platforms, and these are the findings. The court orders the creation of an abatement fund. So Meta has to create an abatement fund in addition to the jury's first phase award of rupees 375,000 in civil penalties for Meta's UPA violation. So all of this is in addition to the already amount that was in fact put on Meta in phase 1, as established above the creation of a fund and the use of monies therein to abate a public nuisance is not without precedent. And in this case, the court finds that such a fund is necessary due to the wide-ranging impacts of the harm and complex nature of the remedy. The court also further orders Meta to pay and deposit a total of 567,000 into a fund. Additionally, the funds will be allocated as specified below to address the following categories of abatement measures. So they have defined why they are taking $567 million from Meta. They had already taken $375 million from Meta earlier, and now they have also stated that this fund is necessary because the violations have a wide-ranging impact of on the harm and the nature and the complex nature of the remedy that has to be provided to the people who are already suffering because of these platforms. So let's look at the category. The first category is awareness and prevention. So they will pour in $33 million into awareness and prevention to make sure that students, that people and that young children are aware of the side effects, the harmful effects of Meta platforms, and take preventive measures to not get addicted to it. There is also screening and assessment category. We are in fact looking at the court granting $90 million over there from the fund to screening and assessment. This is important because they need the screening of youngsters so that young children are not able to access content that is not meant for them on such Meta platforms. We are also looking at $15 million for referral, linkage and coordination. $420 million just for treatment, because that is what is happening. A lot of people are being affected, they're seeing the side effects and they are harmed by these platforms and the algorithms, and hence for treatment they are allotting around $420 million. Then implementation, continuous quality improvement and evaluation has been allotted around $9 million. So a total of around $567 million the court has asked Meta to in fact submit for the abatement fund, and the categories have been listed. So the money, how it will be utilized, has also been put to the fore. Let me in fact also rope in Mr. Pawan Duggal, who is a cyber security expert. He has joined us on this broadcast as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Duggal. A very good morning to you. Mr. Duggal, if you can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes. Mr. Dugal, I want to first understand from your perspective, meta platforms across Europe, across America, and now even in India facing scrutiny. The platforms have been alleged to, encourage compulsive addiction. There is also the factor of child safety that comes into the picture, and already facing a lot of scrutiny over privacy. How are you looking at all these developments that are coming to the fore, sir?
I'm looking at these developments as part of a consistent behavioral pattern that's being adopted by Meta. The fact remains is that it appears that this intermediary platform is thinking that it's a law into its own self. And that's the reason why it's going ahead and not just encouraging CSAM content, publication, dissemination, but also active promoting of such CSAM content. This itself is not to the liking of any legal frameworks across the world, and that's why various lawsuits and legal proceedings are pending, and that's why this New Mexico state court has now given this $567 million fine that has to be paid up. Meta says it's going to appeal, which it can do that, but it is one major step forward. It actually tells us that, look, it's a consistent behavior of the intermediary which is considering that it's a law unto its own self, and that it chooses not to comply with the laws in the applicable jurisdictions. And in any case, when any company gets blinded by commercial considerations, they believe that the commercials alone would suffice and they don't need to comply with community standards, laws, rules, and regulations. So I believe this is the growing trend, and this is one big event that's happened. This is going to trigger off other big events as well. Let's take the context of India. India, they have been actively promoting CSAM content, and yet no prosecution has even begun in the Indian context. It's only when they chose to abruptly put down or block the video of the Prime Minister did this entire episode begin to start getting traction. But I think we need to look at it more holistically. No intermediary has a right to destroy the mental health or the potential future prospects of children at large. And if they are doing so by promoting such CSAM content or giving content which is in violation of the applicable laws and norms, then they have to be held not just responsible, but they also have to contribute towards remedifying the defects or the basic problems that they have created. So in that regard, this judgment is of great importance because it says you deposit this kind of money which is going to be used for constructive, cogent, positive steps to be taken for the purposes of protecting the mental health of teens and children at large. Till now, the fines were only rotating around the fact that they have to be penalized for their conduct. But now, for the first time, we now have a judgment which says, no, you also pay for the recurring cost of training, of awareness that has to be now inculcated amongst children and amongst the youngsters so that they can know the ill effects or side effects of being exposed to such kind of content on such platforms.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Dugal, for your valuable perspective on this issue. We are now shifting our focus to some other news coming in.